pre-qualifying is all about asking solid, open-ended questions to arrive at, for us as agents, to arrive at a determination as to what our client is motivated by, why they did what they did, what they currently have, why they think the way they do, and then to go deeper and clarify why that's important to them. And the whole goal of pre-qualification, besides just asking questions, is to overcome objections before they occur. If you're coming in late to this, best thing you can do, whatever you're selling in the insurance business, think of the top 3 to 5 objections that you experience, and then learn how to address those in a question format, open-ended question format, right in the beginning of the sales call after you build a little rapport and introduce yourself. You'll find that you'll overcome a lot of these objections a lot faster. And if not, you'll be able to end sales calls quicker so that you don't have to spend an inordinate amount of time with a non-qualified buyer. Also, you want to ask questions about, and for most people, open-ended questions about need, desire. That fuels urgency. Of course, we want to ask health questions. You know your products at best, so you got to know what your health questions are and create a list of questions you must ask. Always ask for prescriptions too. That's important as well, and to physically see them. Make sure you, if it's applicable to you, get a commitment on budget in this section too. It may seem hard to ask for the money now without really telling them what you're there for, but at this point, they'll tell you kind of what they want, what they're looking for, and then if you can get them to commit to a budget, at least you know that they're not flim-flamming you and they're just tire kickers. Because they'll say they're tire kickers. Oh, maybe I can afford it. You'll if you ask, you'll eventually get a buyer who's been really enthused by all these lines of questioning. They'll say, yeah, I can do that. That sounds really good. And they're really well qualified. And that's what's beautiful about this. That's the beauty of this, is that the pre-qualification section, once you get to the end of it, and before you start explaining really in detail what you do, think about the kind of person you have in front of you at this point. If they've answered everything to the positive, you've got a client that has demonstrated emotionally their need for the product as well as the desire for it. They've also been able to be health qualified, so you know what product you're looking at, you know which ones to stay away from, and you know that they've got a level of commitment based on the financials if you're in fact trying to sell them something that's going to take their money, whereas maybe with Medicare you're giving them money. But they're conceptually sold at least, and they're at least sold on the budget at a minimum. Think about the person you're with at this point. This is a pretty good prospect, right? I mean, this is somebody that is going to be very receptive. They're very open-minded to what you're selling. They've given you a lot of good information. You know what makes them tick. And now when you transition to this sales presentation where you demonstrate what your product does and why it's better, now you can hand select the words that they use to describe their emotion, their desire, their wants, their needs, and you can insert that into the presentation through the process of educating them, sharing stories from people like them to bolster and reinforce the points. Your presentation is going to be absolutely powerful than just going in there and doing a canned job presentation, which just sucks and a lot of people just resent anyway.